From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spar on the radio.
Hello to Bobbie Jo Pritchard. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for letting me chat to you today. So, can you tell me how long have you been a singer-songwriter for?
A singer-songwriter. At the beginning of this year, I started writing my own music.
As a cover artist?
As a cover artist, I've been about 5-6 years with COVID in the midst of that. But yeah, about 5-6 years.
So, what sort of cover artist do you sing?
Any genre you can think about, really. I mean, minus some, but anything from rock, jazz, soul, country, ballads, anything that people like, I think, more than anything. I don't have a set genre that I sing for covers. I just try and fit in something that everybody will like.
Do you have a favourite cover artist, or would you sing any?
No, not really. Any, really. I don't really have a specific artist that I like to sing. I mean, one of my favourite songs to sing is Proud Mary by Tina Turner. That always gets the party going. Yeah, but no, I don't really have a specific artist that I cover that I enjoy.
So can you tell me, what was it like to go into the recording studio for the first time?
Really, it sort of felt like home. It sort of felt like a home from home. We've been recording a lot of the demos and stuff from our home studio. And then just going in there, it just felt like, well, we met with Russ, who is the one that produces all my music. And he's just a great guy, and he just made us feel straight at home. Yeah, it was just really a smooth, great process. And I thought recording would be the part that I dislike the most. Now, I love recording. If I'm doing harmonies, I absolutely hate it. That's the bit I don't like. However, I can't wait to go and record new music. Like, that's one of the most fun parts of it for me. So yeah, it feels like a home from a home.
So can you tell me about your debut single, Goodbye?
Yeah, my debut single. So that was written about my nan, who passed away last November. And the song was the second song I've ever wrote. And it came from, I've never been able to write music before. I didn't have it in me. I couldn't do it. And then I was struggling to process my feelings of grief because I'd never grieved anyone before. And I had a little bit of a meltdown, we shall say. And I spoke to my partner, and he said, music is the one thing that you've always turned to. So I turned to music, not to write anything, but literally just to maybe see if there was a song out there or something that I could relate to that maybe I could express my feelings, because I was bottling a lot of it up. And then one day I said, I don't know what it is. Maybe if I try and get how I'm feeling out in a song, maybe that might work. I don't know. Never intended for the song to go nowhere. Just my little therapy song. And then I showed it to my family, really touched them, and it was only going to stay between us, because it is written solely about my experience and my family's experience of not being able to say a goodbye to somebody who's passed so suddenly. And yeah, I mean, lots of people liked it, and those who weren't family, who had heard it before, I decided to bring it out. Like, other people might relate to this song. So yeah, I decided to bring it out, and I think it was the best choice for me for my first song to come out. Yeah.
So can you tell me about your latest release called Don't Die With Me?
Okay, so my second single, the reason that one has come straight after Goodbye is because the songs go hand in hand. So Goodbye is about somebody passing and you not being able to say goodbye to them. And then Don't Die With Me is actually from a perspective of somebody when somebody has passed, and this individual who's been left behind on earth, maybe not wanting to be here anymore because this other person has passed. And so it's a lot of how I would describe it, somebody in heaven saying to somebody on earth, it's not your time. You know, you've got so much more time left on this planet. You've got so much more to give. And just because I've gone doesn't mean that your life has to end too. So that's the premise of the song, yeah.
So are you working on any new music?
Yes, I've got a lot of music under my belt. They're flying out of me at the moment. So I've got 2 songs that we recorded the same time that we recorded Don't Die With Me. One, fingers crossed, coming early next year with an accumulation of some other music, but I'll talk more on that when we're a bit further ahead, when I know for definite. But fingers crossed, I can't promise, but fingers crossed, we might have another single out the end of this year. So I'm really excited about the music I'm working on. I actually wrote a song the other day that is probably my favourite one I've wrote so far. So yeah, I'm excited.
What inspires you to write music?
Storytelling. I love reading. I love anything that tells a story that touches my heart in any way. And sometimes I get myself, like, I don't always write a song from my own perspective. I make a character in my head. I tend to like as if I'm writing my own little book, and I go on a journey before I even write the song. I go on a journey with this character, and this song will be based on a character that I've made up. And what's her life like? Does she have children? Is she married? And, and all that sort of stuff. And I really do make a story before a song is even molded of anything. And I just think every song, whether it's an upbeat one or not, every song that I have so far written has got a underlying story. Some more hard-hitting than others, but yeah, they've all got an underlying story, of whatever it is, really. But storytelling is definitely where I get my inspiration. I just love music that is able to speak to people, and I think music is such a universal language that whatever language you speak, it can touch people in such a way that I think it's just so special. So yeah, I just want my music to sort of emulate that.
So we can continue putting singles out, or have you thought about an EP or an album maybe?
So fingers crossed, sometime next year an EP may be coming out. I've got a strong structure of an idea that we have been working quite hard on to get into place, with one song already recorded. And what I can say, the EP will definitely tell a story throughout the whole, the whole EP will tell a whole story with all the songs accumulated. Yeah. So
can you tell me more about being an independent artist for you?
It's hard work. It's very hard work, but it is, I think, fulfilling when you, as much as it would be so much easier to have people that back you and things like that, but when you work so hard and a lot of it is done just on your own, with obviously support of those around you, but mainly you creating and you promoting the song and stuff like that. I think when you get such a good reception, even if it's a small reception, but it's still such a good reception, I think it definitely is a big fulfilling feeling that I don't think would be quite as matched if there was a big team pumping a lot of things into you. So as hard as it is, I do think it is really rewarding when it comes at the end, when you think, wow, I've done all that on my own.
So you still want to be independent, or have you thought about sign route, or?
I think I'm going to stay on the independent for now. I think there's a lot of talks within the industry at the moment, whether independent or signed which route is the best. And I've seen quite a bit, signed is not always the way to go, as much as independent is quite hard. In ways might be easier than what a signed would be. I don't think I've done enough research in it for myself to know what would be the best route for me. But with me only just starting with the songwriting and stuff, I'm just enjoying the process at the moment. I've not got any, if things come of whatever, that's great. But at the moment, I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. And I just want to keep doing that because I don't want to get lost in where things become of an expectation, because that's when you lose the enjoyment. And I'm just loving writing songs, putting them out for people who want to listen to them. If they like them, they do. If they don't, they don't. And I'm just enjoying. No pressure. There's no pressure with it. If I don't need to be pumping songs out 24/7. If a song comes and I like it and I produce it and I bring it, great. But I think there's a lot of, when you're signed, there's a lot of that pressure with it, I think. And I'm just enjoying just bringing what I can bring at the moment. And I think I'm so early in the stages. There's lots of people, obviously, who are a lot further ahead of me that will probably be at that point of being signed. But at the moment, I think for me, it's just going to stay on the independent route for now.
So can you tell me what gigs have you got coming up?
Oh, what gigs have I coming up? Well, I've got a lot of around my area, Wrexham, Chester area, just like pub gigs and stuff, which off the top of my head I couldn't tell you, but they'll all advertise on my Facebook page as Bobbie Jo Music. I do have the No Smoke Without Fire tour coming up with Megan Lee and Tom Wright. I'm opening for that fantastic pairing. So that's going to be a funny evening, which you can buy your tickets for on Megan's page. And I'm sure I've advertised that. I will be advertising it again. But so that's an exciting one. That's been my first opening act gig, which I'm so privileged that Megan asked me to do. So, yeah.
And finally, can you tell my listeners where can they find you on social media?
Where you can find me on social media?
Yeah.
So you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. You can find me, YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff, iTunes, under Bobbie Jo Pritchard, or Bobbie Jo Music UK, either or. I show up on both. So just my full name or Bobbie Jo Music UK, you can find me under as well.
Thank you for chatting to me today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And I wish you all the success.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I wish you all the success on your YouTube journey as well, with all your radio interviews. I love it.
Now, come and see you on the 30th of November.
Perfect. I look forward to it.
I'll see you there.
Thank you. See you later.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
And you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.